help me welcome,
4 years after battling cancer,
the 39th President of the United States, Jimmy Carter.
and 4 months after falling and breaking his hip, requiring weeks of intense physical therapy,
I will agree to answer questions.
former President Jimmy Carter showed no signs of fatigue or pain as he stood unassisted
What book did you read that changed your life?
and answered question
How should we fix the increasing polarization between parties in our country?
after question
As a peanut farmer, what are your thoughts on almond butter?
from students at an Emory University town hall event he's participated in every year for 38 years.
We only have peanut butter in our house.
I think that it's a problem when people overly lionize political figures, but I do have a great deal of respect for Jimmy Carter.
Gianluigi Zanninelli, a first-time town hall participant, says he came with an open mind about the one-term Democratic president.
I've heard a great many conservatives be incredibly critical of Jimmy Carter.
But Zanninelli says that comes from Carter's tumultuous time in the White House 4 decades ago, well before he was born.
But because of the good works that he's been doing over the course of the last 30 or more years, we have a high opinion of him as a human being, because what is indisputable is that Jimmy Carter cares about other people and devotes himself to service.
I would say I still adhere to the advice my school principal gave me. We must accommodate changing times, and these are really changing times, but cling to principles that never do change. Principles like telling the truth and helping other people.
In an exclusive interview with VOA, the 95-year-old Nobel Peace Prize laureate says his age may finally be catching up to him.
I used to travel to Africa 3 or 4 times a year and always to China and so forth. So I've cut back on my foreign travel, but I'm still, involved in the Carter Center.
A center he leads with his wife Rosalind, which wages peace, fights disease, and builds hope around the world through programs including election monitoring and guinea worm eradication. But recent setbacks, including new transmission of the worm between dogs, could jeopardize his wish for eradication in his lifetime.
And we think we've prevented maybe 80 million people from having guinea worm that would have had it otherwise. So we've made very good progress, but we still have a little ways to go.
President Carter is a kind of secular saint in America today.
Emory University history professor Joe Crispino says Carter has set a high standard for what is expected of U.S. presidents once they leave office.
His longevity, his commitment to doing as much good as he can do in the time that he has on earth is really a remarkable model, not just for his fellow Americans, but for people around the globe.
A globe partially transformed by the work President Carter says he and Mrs. Carter will continue to do for as long as they can. Kane Farabaugh, VOA News, Atlanta, Georgia.